जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी 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 जय यशोदानंदना जय ब्रज जनरंजना 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 जय जमुना तेरा वनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय जमुना तेरा वनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय जमुना तेरा वनचारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय जमुना तेरा वनचारी जय गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna Mataji, can you please put on 329, I think 11 to 12? There are two verses together. 329, Srimad Bhagavatam, 329, 11 to 12. These are two verses together, 11, 12. 329, the instructions of Kapil Muni. So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, actually, in many places, actually, it's all about pure devotional service. Because in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it starts with Dharma Prajita Kaitava Atra Parama Nirmat Saranam Satam. Before that, the verse before, it doesn't speak about Srimad Bhagavatam. It speaks about the Supreme Personality of God, the absolute truth. Yeah, Om Nama Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janma Desyatha Anyadi Taratas Chartis Avikasaran. That verse is not about Srimad Bhagavatam. But actually, everything related to Krishna is also Bhagavatam. But the next verse specifically speaks that what are the subject matters of Srimad Bhagavatam. And it says, Dharma Prajita Kaitava Atra Parama Nirmat Saranam Satam. That means this Bhagavad Purana, let me actually speak the whole verse and then we can give the meaning and then we come to this part. Dharma Prajita Kaitava Atra Parama Nirmat Saranam Satam Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayo Unmulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamunikriti Kimba Paroy Rishwara Sadhya Ridi Aburuddhate Atro Kritivi Shushuvi Tatshanat. It speaks that this Bhagavad Purana or this Purana which is being spoken right now, it speaks about something beyond the four Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. And whatever related to this Dharma, Artha and Kama, Moksha, that is attributed as Kaitava, cheating religion. So this Bhagavatam is not a cheating religion. It's beyond these four cheating subject matters. And it is speaking about only Panchama Purushartha, which is the love of Godhead. The fifth goal of life, or the original goal of life. And it has been, it is accepted by all the satams, those good the sadhus, and it actually drives away all three types of kleshas. Atra vastu shivadam tapatraya unmulanam. It actually takes away all three types of sufferings we are actually facing, and it brings all auspiciousness. Shiva means actually auspiciousness. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krita means like Maharshi Vedavyas, who is an incarnation, a powerful incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shaktavesh Avatar. He actually wrote this Purana. Kimba Parashur, what is the need for other religion? Sadhya Ridya Abhuridya Atru Krijibi Shushubi Tatshanad. So when you actually capture the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, you actually get the message of all other literatures automatically, and you get rid of all kind of other obligations. Can you actually read the translation, Prabhu, completely? Yeah, I think that will give you that exact meaning. I just paraphrased a lot of things. Yeah. That mic is not powered on, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavad Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart.
Excellent. Prabhupada's translation is a poetry actually. It's so beautiful. It hears like so nicely. Anyways, but the point is, if you take shelter, and so that's why everywhere in Srimad Bhagavatam it actually talks about pure devotional service. There is no other subject matters. Hare Krishna, Manoj Prabhu. Prabhu, please sit in the front. So it doesn't speak anything. So many places. So this is the part where Devahuti, Kapil Devahuti Sangbad is actually taking place. Means like the conversation between Bhagavan Kapil Dev, who is an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his mother Devahuti is being taking place. And true to say, even though sometimes we see that this absolute knowledge is for very intelligent people from Brahmanas, or and sometimes we say it may not be applicable for ladies. Maybe they won't be able to understand. But if you consider the Bhagavatam flow, one of the very important conversation and very core philosophy is being discussed here, which is all about pure devotional service, and many complicated subject matters are also introduced, like the birth of a human body, how it actually takes place. All those intricacies are also being spoken by Kapil Muni. So definitely, anybody who takes pure devotional service, they are eligible to hear any topic about pure devotional service. It's not that I'm born as a Shudra, I'm born as an outcast, I am not eligible. No, it's not the case. And that's the power of pure devotional service. And this verse talks about pure devotional service, the qualities of, or what you consider as pure devotional service. And we also will see what is not actually pure devotional service, because the preceding verses, he speaks about what are not pure devotional services. So, I will recite and then you can actually recite. Madguna shruti matrena mai sarva guhasaye managatir avichinya yatha gangam budu lakshanam bhakti yogasya nirgunasya hi udaritam ahuitukya abhyabahita ya bhakti hi purushottame. Yeah, you can recite after me. I will recite one by one. Madguna shruti matrena mai sarva guhasaye managatir avichinna yatha gangambha sambudo lakshanam bhakti yogasya nirgunasya hi udaritam ahuitukyabhyabahita ya bhakti purushottame. Anybody wants to chant? Chant.
Madguna Shruti Matrena
Madguna Shruti Matrena
Mai Sarva Guhashaye
Mai Sarva Guhashaye
Manogatira Vichhinna
Managatira Vichinna
Yatha Gangam Bhasom Budho
Yatha Gangam Sambudo
Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya
Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya
Nirgunasya hi udahritam
Nirgunasya Hudaritam
Ahetuki avyavahita
Ahaitukya Abhavita
Ya Bhakti Purushottame
Ya Bhakti Purushottame
Madguna Shruti Matrena
Madguna Shruti Matrena
Mai Sarva Guhashaye
Mai Sarva Guhashaye
Manogatira Vichinna
Managatira Vichinna
Yatha Gangam Bhaso Ambudhao
Yatha Gangam Bhasambudo
Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya
Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya
Nirgunasya hi udharitam
Nirgunasya Udaritam
Ahituki avyavahita
Ahaitukya Abhavita
Ya Bhakti hi Purushottame
Ya Bhakti hi Purushottame. Anyone else? Want to try, Paul? Yes.
Madguna Shruti Matrena
Madguna Shruti Matrena
Mai Sarva Guhashaye
Mai Sarva Guhashaye
Manogatir Avichina
Managatir Vabhichinna
Yatha Ganga Basom Dao
Yatha Gangam Bhasambudo
Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya
Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya
Nirgunasya hi udahritam
Nirgunasya Hudaritam
Ahaitukya hita
Yahaitukya Babahita
Ya Bhakti Purushottame
Ya Bhakti Purushottame. Madguna. Mataji, synonyms please. Mat. Mat. Of me. Guna. Qualities. Shruti. By hearing. Matrena. Just. Mai. Towards me. Sarva Guhashaye. Residing in everyone's heart. Mana Gatahi. The heart's course. Avichinna. Continuous. Yatha. As. Ganga. Of the Ganges. Ambhasaha. Of the water. Ambudhu. Towards the ocean. Lakshanam. The manifestation. Bhakti Yogasya. Of devotional service. Nirgunasya. Unadulterated. He indeed. Udaritam. Exhibited. Ahuitake. Causeless. Abhyabhita. Not separated. Ya. Which. Bhakti. Devotional service. Purusha Uttame. Towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The manifestation of unadulterated devotional service is exhibited when one's mind is at once attracted to hearing the transcendental name and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is residing in everyone's heart. Just as the water of the Ganges flows naturally down towards the ocean, such devotional ecstasy, uninterrupted by any material condition, flows towards the Supreme Lord. So actually the first part is actually the last part of the verse mainly. I think, Madgunashraya Sarvagashama. Yeah, actually, yeah. It means Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya. This is the second part, right? So it actually is the quality, the characteristics of pure devotional service. Anyways, yeah, that's why these two verses are put together, because they can give more meaning together rather than explicitly. Yeah, go down, Mataji, we can read the purport. Yeah. The basic principle of this unadulterated pure devotional service is love of Godhead. Madguna Shruti Matrena means just after hearing about the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These qualities are called Nirguna. The Supreme Lord is uncontaminated by the modes of material nature. Therefore, he is attractive to the pure devotee. There is no need to practice meditation to attain such attraction. The pure devotee is already in the transcendental stage, and the affinity between him and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is natural and is compared to the Ganges water flowing towards the sea. The flow of the Ganges water cannot be stopped by any condition. Similarly, a pure devotee's attraction for the transcendental name, form, and pastimes of the Supreme Godhead cannot be stopped by any material condition. The word avichanna, without interruptions, is very important in this connection. No material condition can stop the flow of the devotional service of a pure devotee. The word ahitaki means without reason. A pure devotee doesn't render loving service to the personality of Godhead for any cause or for any benefit, material or spiritual. This is the first symptom of unalloyed devotion. Anya vilashida shunyam. He has no desire to fulfill by rendering devotional service. Such devotional service is meant for the Purushottama, the Supreme Personality, and you have to go down, and not for anyone else. Sometimes pseudo-devotees show devotion to many demigods, thinking the forms of the demigods to be the same as the Supreme Personality of Godhead's form. It is specifically mentioned herein, however, that bhakti, devotional service, is meant only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, Vishnu, or Krishna, not for anyone else. Abhyabhita means without cessation. A pure devotee must engage in the service of the Lord 24 hours a day, without cessation. His life is so molded that every minute and every second he engages in some sort of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Another meaning of the word abhyabhita is that the interest of the devotee and the interest of the Supreme Lord are on the same level. The devotee has no interest but to fulfill the transcendental desire of the Supreme Lord. Such spontaneous service unto the Supreme Lord is transcendental and is never contaminated by the material modes of nature. These are the symptoms of pure devotional service, which is free from all contamination of material nature. So that is a contaminated form of devotional service also, right? And this is the uncontaminated form of devotional service. Let's read the translation one more time together. You can read together. The manifestation of unadulterated devotional service is exhibited when one's mind is at once attracted to hearing the transcendental name and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is residing in everyone's heart. Just as the water of the Ganges flows naturally down towards the ocean, such devotional ecstasy, uninterrupted by any material condition, flows towards the Supreme Lord. Yes? So, it's a very beautiful definition of pure devotional service. What kind of devotional service you will consider? That it is transcendental. It's not, contaminated by the modes of material nature. So very few points are very important here. One is it's a natural flow. But in a conditioned stage, is that possible? When we are especially conditioned by so much, anarthas, so much misgivings in our heart. We are conditioned by the modes of material nature. We are conditioned by our, previous actions, our current actions. We are conditioned by our habits. A lot of things are actually not helping us to go towards Krishna. But here an interesting point is, attracted to hearing the transcendental name and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that attraction may be not there in the beginning. When I came to ISV first, in 2012, what happened? I found that then our classes are here 2 hours. And I was thinking, I came from another big community. Like 45 minutes class, you won't see many people actually hearing. Only few people are hearing. After class, there is kirtan, like the temple is full. And then after kirtan prasadam, the temple area is completely full. Like it's not only temple hall. Like everywhere you will see only devotees, like full of devotees, because that community is huge. So I was thinking like 2 hours class, what they discuss here? They do like, some kirtan or something special. And honestly speaking, first few months, it was a big struggle for me to sit down 2 hours and listen. Thinking, when will the class will stop and I can take prasadam and we'll do some kirtan, something like that. It was very difficult. And now, if a class is like 45 minutes or 1 hour, and what they are discussing now, when it is starting and when it is completing, I don't understand that. So this is something. Now I'm not glorifying myself that I'm being attached. I'm telling like it's kind of a habit. You get habituated with it. You may not actually do like 24 hours of chanting or kirtan or devotional service. It may not be possible for your particular scenario, but you can incremental increase, right? That's very important, that you can increase incrementally and try to do some kind of activities which is connected to Krishna. Even if you are doing office work, like His Holiness Amal Bhakta Maharaj was once telling, somebody asked that, how can I remember Krishna when I am doing my office work? He said, keep a small picture of Krishna in front of you and look here and there, in between, when you are doing something, just remember Krishna. That's how you get habituated. Because it's not like even though it's a natural inclination in our heart to render service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but that has not manifested yet. It's covered by so much conditioning, so much material misgivings. So, by the process of hearing and chanting, you can actually clean up. Cheta darpanam arjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam, right? The first verse of Shikshashtakam speaks about that. That by hearing and chanting the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you can clean up those misgivings. And once that cleans up, then it will be a natural process. It's not that you will stop hearing and chanting. You will do more attentively, with more taste. And then it will be a natural process. Just like naturally, Mother Ganges, where from she was born? She was born from Vaikuntha Loka, right? The Mandakini. Then she became Mandakini when she came to the heavenly planets. And then she became Ganges when she came to earthly planet. And then she flows to the down, Patal Loka also. So she purifies the 3 lokas. 3 lokas can be interpreted as like a spiritual world and in between, and also material world, or in 3 levels of material world, like the upper planetary system, the middle, and the lower planetary systems. So it is said that when Mother Ganges flows, she purifies everyone. First she comes from the lotus feet of the Lord Vishnu, from lotus feet of Lord Vishnu to the Kamandulu of Lord Brahma. And then she overflows from the Kamandal to the Jata, to the knotted hair of Lord Shiva. And then she comes down to the earthly planet. Like, all 3 major personalities are also involved. Like from one's lotus feet, then another's Kamandulu, and then from another's head. Gangadhar. Lord Shiva is that's why known as Gangadhar, he who is holding Mother Ganges in his head. So she naturally goes down to the ocean, right? And that's why all oceans are connected to Mother Ganges. So that's why if you worship an ocean and consider it as Ganges, it's not a fault, because they are all connected. They have a direct connection, direct touch with that. But yeah, if you can get a chance to take bath in Rishikesh or in Navadvip or Mayapur, that is best. But if you cannot do that also, if you can do some puja in the Samudra or pay obeisances in considering it is connected to Mother Ganges, you will get the same benefit. In fact, by chanting the name of Mother Ganges, my spiritual master said that if you chant Om Gange, Gange, Gange before taking bath, then Mother Ganges appear in that water. And that is also mantra like Om Gange cha Jamuna Bhat. Anyways, so she naturally flows downward, even though there are a lot of obstacles. But she doesn't stop her flow. Similarly, the devotees, even though Hare Krishna. So even though apparently there may be obstacles in the path of devotional service, right? We have obstacles in our path of devotional service. Can anybody share what kind of obstacles you feel in your devotional service? If you have, yes, Kirtakarna Proji.
Obligations for work. Sometimes there are late night calls.
Yeah.
So we cannot wake up early because of that. So chanting becomes late.
Correct, exactly. And it's like you cannot ignore that responsibility And also you feel like, okay, I am not doing justification to my sadhana. Yeah. Anyone else has anything else? Any obstruction? Or yes, please go ahead. Sundar Madhav Prabhu.
Yeah, bro. My observation is sometimes like the biggest obstruction comes from our mind only, because sometimes our mind itself does not conclude to what to do and what to choose.
Yeah.
So, like my observation is that one, and of course, apart from that, sometimes you have externals like office, like Prabhuji was telling, and some random thing comes. Like it will come at the time of your sadhana only. So, so it's like mixed thing.
Excellent point. Yes, actually, our mind is always looking for alternative. You are doing something, especially in mode of passion. That is the nature. Like you are doing something, even though you are doing good, you are thinking like, oh, maybe something is better. I have to actually do that. So that, especially the place where we are in, it is actually dominated by mood of passion. So the mind will be also, afflicted by those kind of moods. So that's why it will go in different direction, even though you want to concentrate. That's why in the morning session, when you chant in the morning, it's the best time. I can vouch for that. When I chant in the morning, my concentration is much better. But when I chant in the other parts of the day, even though I'm chanting and trying to hear, but it doesn't stay for a long time. That reverberation of the chanting, or the imprint of the chanting, it doesn't stay for long. So that's why the practice should start early morning as much as possible. That will be helpful. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah. My personal thing is like, I will share my personal obstruction also. It's not that, I don't have any obstruction. A lot of obstructions are there. But I feel like, I sometimes get passionately involved in solving problems which I may not be able to solve. Like, I'm kind of touched by my surroundings. I see a news, somebody is raising fund. Okay, I have to get involved and I have to reach out to people. And that ultimately doesn't go that much good, even though apparently it may help for some time, something. But it's just like, fitting to your shirts. So, and also, as I said, like, that mind doesn't stay focused for a long period of time. That is a problem for me also. So we have to practice for that. And in the association of devotees, when we chanted today morning, by nature, it was really like, it was very, very effective, very deep. I feel, you also can feel whenever you chant in the temple, in the association of the devotees, in the presence of Srila Prabhupada and the deities, you will feel like, there is a very strong imprint in your heart. You can carry that kind of energy for a long period of time. It's helpful. Okay, so we have obstruction. But these devotees who are actually directly attracted to Krishna, or they are naturally attracted to Krishna, who is the reservoir of all qualities, right? Like Krishna has different form, and he has like innumerable forms and innumerable qualities. You cannot count, because even in Krishna's is Radha Madan Mohan, he will exhibit different forms to different devotees. Not every devotee will see Radha Madan Mohan in the same way. They will see based on their relationship with Krishna, or whatever realization they have with respect to the deities. They will not see, everyone will not see in the same manner. So that's why his forms are innumerables. Qualities are innumerables. So when Krishna has so many forms and so many innumerable qualities, somehow or other, you will be attracted to one form or other, or one quality or other. You will, like one of the prominent qualities, one of the qualities of Krishna will attract you. In the 14th chapter of 10th canto, Lord Brahma's prayer is there, right? And in one of the verses, I think it's the 7th verse, where he says, the gunatman esvapi gunan bimatung hita avatirinasya kaishirahasya kalena raiva bimatang sukalpur bhupangshavakya mihika dubhyaso. He is telling, gunatman esvapi gunan bimatung, your qualities are innumerable, and you are the soul of all qualities. Just like if you have a body, but if the body doesn't have a soul, will it work? Similarly, if you see a quality in someone, and that quality doesn't belong to Krishna, or you cannot connect to Krishna, then that quality will be material. But if you can connect with Krishna, then quality will be spiritual. Oh, he like Srila Prabhupada had that quality. He could see in the material people the spiritual qualities. Like somebody is like, I think I shared that pastimes of Charlie Chaplin, that by looking at Charlie Chaplin's acts, he could understand that these qualities are coming from Krishna. He is representing the jocular mood of Krishna, because Krishna makes a lot of fun activities. He's not a boring person. He's just not like, okay, sitting there and everybody will watch him. No, he's a very fun-loving personality. So that quality you can connect. And Krishna is the soul of all qualities. All qualities are coming from him. So now he's telling, so he is descending to this material world to exhibit some of his qualities. Maybe he is exhibiting all of his qualities, but not it will be manifested to us, the devotee. Certain qualities will be manifested to you, certain part of his qualities. Like someone like Srimati Radharani, she can actually uphold all the qualities of Krishna. But in our tiny capacity, we cannot actually understand or go that deep to understand all the qualities of Krishna. So he is exhibiting many qualities to deliver us. How he can deliver us? When we see qualities of Krishna, his forms, his pastimes, we will be attracted. Our meditation will be, revolving around Krishna. It will not be revolving around the material things, which are, Achit, Nirananda, and Asat, which are ephemeral. These are dull matter. So you cannot get bliss. And they don't have knowledge. They are inert material. Like body. When the soul is not there, it is actually of no use. So, Krishna's qualities, he descends to exhibit his qualities to attract us toward him. Now he is telling, Kalena reva vimatang sukalpar bhupangshabha ke mihika dubhyasa. Even though some scientist, somebody very intelligent, like Lord Brahma himself, he is very intelligent, right? He created this material world. He can count 3 things. He is talking about 3 things. And that's the beauty of the prayers of acharyas. Like when they speak, it's very expansive and it's very relevant and it's very sweet when you analyze them with respect to the acharyas. Like Vishnu Chakravarti Pad, he gave a very elaborate commentary on this verse, and he is explaining that he is speaking about 3 things. One is the Bhupangshava. Bhupangshava means the dust of the earthly planet. There are a lot of dust, right? Even if you don't reside in an apartment, after some time, like maybe 1 month after, if you open the door, you will see that it will be full of dust. You don't know where from it came, even though everything was closed. So it automatically gets accumulated. Then dust, then mihika, the soft, what you can say, like himkana. Himkana is like the snow, soft snow particles. Snow particles, right? In actually the material world, before global warming, I think major part of it was actually snowy, right? And very thick. Now it is getting melted, and we are having some issues, global warming. Anyway, so snow. And then he said, Dyubhyasa means that ray of light. These 3 things. And this goes from gross to subtle. So a dust particle is gross, and then subtler than dust particle is, the snow particle. And then subtler than that is actually the sunlight. And it is said that, okay, it is possible to count the dust. How? Because Ananta Seth already did it. Lord Ananta Seth. He already counted how many dust particles are there in material. He already counted how much snow particles are there in this material world, or can be. Means because the water can form snow, so he can count that. So you can consider that water, like in the condensed form, also a snow particle. And he already counted the sun rays which are coming to the earthly planet. But he is not able to count the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead yet. Even though you can do that. So Vishnu Chakravarti Pada stated that it is possible. Somebody said now it is an uncountable noun. We cannot count these forms. But already somebody did it. So there is a proof that it can be counted. So this is the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is ever expansive, innumerable, and it can attract you. It can, some special quality of Krishna will attract you. You don't know. Maybe at a very advanced stage, you will see that you particular pastimes of Krishna, particular form of Krishna, you're very attracted to serve. And then that will reveal your, eternal relationship with Krishna in that way. Okay, now, one thing is, when we are actually talking about Krishna's topics, interesting fact, the topic about Krishna what it does actually, what kind of actions it does to us, the listener, speaker, and everyone else. Can anybody actually tell like what it does? I'm just trying to make it.
Yeah,
real.
Prabhuji, one thing I could relate is, it purifies your heart.
Excellent.
Because, any anarthas you have, any material attachment, it's a slow process, but it
Correct.
helps. And it gives satisfaction because you listen to other kathas, it's good for hours, but eventually you're just frustrated. But
Exactly.
Krishna katha, right, it gives you some self-satisfaction and it purifies your heart.
Yeah, no inebriety. It will be more sweeter, and especially those who are advanced, they will hear day and night Krishna Katha without stopping, like Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj is a qualified listener, and interestingly, in Srimad Bhagavatam, many places he has been addressed as a Bhagavata Uttama. That means a Bhagavata Uttama can actually appreciate the Katha of Krishna. So we have to qualify ourselves in that stage where we can appreciate or hear Krishna Katha day and night. He kept on hearing Krishna Katha for 7 days and 7 nights without any interruption, with rapt attention. Like, one day of fasting, he was not even taking anything. What is that verse? I think that verse was Naishati Dusha Shumna Taktom Obudi Badate Taktom Ombu. Can you actually verse? 10th canto verse, I think. 10th canto, first chapter. Noishati dushva shumna taktam api vadhute pibante tan kathamritam pibante tan achyuta kathamrita rasada. Something, yeah. Can you chant?
Naishati dusahashun mam tyaktodam api badate pibantam twan mukhamboja chyutam hari kathamritam.
Yes, he's telling like, I don't need actually external food or drink. The Hari Katha which is coming from your lotus mouth, Shukadev Goswami he is addressing to, that is actually giving me satisfaction. Because when you eat, you get 3 things, right? What is that? Bhakti Parashana Bhava Virakti Annatra Chaishatrika Kala Prapatya Manasa Yathashnu Tushti Pushti Khutpayanughasham. You get satisfaction, you get nourishment, and your hankering of hunger or the hunger propensity will go away. So he is getting that thing, like he is hearing the Achita Hari Kathamritam, Pibante Tan Mukham Bhujam Achita Hari Kathamritam, he is getting rid of that. So, in this regard, actually, I think in the same context, or in a few verses later, he actually speaks about that. Vasudeva Katha Prashno, Purusho Istri Punatihi, Bhaktarang Prachakang Satris Tat Pada Shalilam Yatha. Like when somebody hears or somebody speaks about Vasudeva Katha, it actually benefits 3 people. 1, the speaker. 2, the person who hears. Persons who hear or person who hears. Or 3, everyone else. Now we understand that, okay, we are in the class, we are speaking, somebody is hearing. But how everyone else is also getting benefited? Can anybody actually try to delve into that point? That how everyone else is getting benefited? Because those who are not here, how they are getting benefited? Can anybody tell? You have liberty to speak based on your realization, based on your understanding. Yeah. Yes, Sundar Madhaprabhu, yes.
What I feel is like sometimes presence of something already makes something in world. Like presence of a pure devotee. So I was reading some place in the text, and it was mentioned that because there are some devotees who are doing devotion nicely, and that's why the world is sustaining. So in a similar manner, if Bhagavad Katha is happening, that's why somehow whole world is sustaining and going on. And if it stops, maybe not sure what will happen.
Excellent point. That is the core teachings actually, because this is yagya, and this is the topmost yagya. When you are actually chanting the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, now in the cycle of yagya, anyat bhavanti bhutani bhutani anna sambhava bhutani parjanna anyat bhavanti bhutani bhutani parjanna anna sambhava Jagya bhavati bhutani, Jagya karma samadbhavani, or something like that. Rice grows from water, water comes from rain, by the performance of the sacrifice. This is a cycle, and the human beings are subsisting with the grains by that. So that is a karma kanda kind of yagya. Even though you can get the same benefit by doing pure devotional service. Because Krishna will provide everything. Ananyas chintayanta yog mamyena paryupasate, right? He will provide everything you need. But He will provide more than that, just mere necessities of life. And that is the pure love of Godhead. When that is there, everything else automatically taken care of. Another thing is, when you're speaking about Krishna Katha, everything stays in the ether. It doesn't go away. Because that's also another thermodynamics, law of thermodynamics, right? Second law of thermodynamics, that the entropy keep increasing, it doesn't get reduced. So this entropy means like the chaos in the nature, but we are not creating chaos. We are creating actually the balance in the nature, because so much chaos is there already. So we are actually creating something which will be staying in the ether for many millions of years. It will not get destroyed. That Sabda Brahma, the sound vibration, is so powerful, and that's why in Naima Sharinya, this Goswami, Suta Goswami, this Shaunakadi Rishi, they were performing a yagya for the benefit of the people of Kali Yuga. And they will be benefited by that yagya for thousands of years. How? They are doing it now, but then how people will be benefited? Because that positive reaction, that remains. And that's very pertinent point, that when somebody does Krishna Katha, pure devotional service, then everything gets purified. Everyone gets benefited. All auspiciousness comes to the earth. In fact, that's why our movement should actually be to make the pure devotees. Because if one person becomes pure devotee, all of us will be getting benefited, like Srila Prabhupada. He becomes one pure devotee, all of us are getting benefited. Even we are like, if you consider that our situation is very fallen condition soul, especially I can say about myself. But somehow or other, by His presence, we are connected to some kind of service. And at least we are talking about Krishna Katha in this temple environment, because He is a pure devotee. So that is another thing. If we increase the number of pure devotees, then things will be more auspicious. Yeah. So, yeah. Go ahead, Prabhu. Kautukarana Prabhuji.
I just want to mention the verse here, Prabhu. Here, in the verse, it says, Vaktaram prachakam shrotrims satpada salilam yatha. So here, the translation says, 3 varieties of men are purified: the speaker or preacher, he who inquires, and the people in general who listen. So here the third part is the people in general who listen to that question and answers.
And can you give the second part? Who is Bhaktaram Prachakam
Prachakam.
Oh, somebody who asks question and somebody listens.
So Bhaktaram is one who is speaking.
Yes. Okay. So you are talking like 3 parts is, one is the speaker, another one is the questioner, and one is the listener. Yeah. So one thing we can say, that's a very good point. Actually, I think the verse phrases are exactly prachikang and sotris, means like somebody who listens. But Acharyas also speaks, especially Vaisheshika Maharaj also speaks, that everyone else get benefited, because it may be not directly, it may be indirectly. That's why Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said that our only goal is to increase the Sankirtan movement all over the globe. If you increase somebody who doesn't know, who doesn't even listening, but he is present there, he will be benefited. He even doesn't listen, like you're talking. Then you, in the background noise, what is happening, you don't really listen. Listening means like with rapt attention, right? But he will definitely get benefited. As long as he is not envious. Means like that is one condition in parenthesis. But so the benefit is there. But your point is right. The 3 personalities are Prachakam and Shrotris, like somebody who is listening and somebody who asks question. Tat Pada Shalilam Yata, just like Mother Ganges, she purifies all 3 planetary systems. Anyways, thank you for bringing the more accurate meaning of the verse. Anyway, so this is one point. Another point is like the devotional service is uninterrupted and it's causeless. Like there is no material cause. There should be a spiritual cause, because you want to actually serve Krishna. That's your spiritual inherent nature. You want to serve someone. That is our dharma, our religion. Dharma doesn't mean like, I am a Hindu, this person is a Mohammedan, this person is a Christian. No, our dharma is to serve. If you don't serve, like, there are different type of service also. Like, deha dharma. You are serving your body, taking care of it. Some people are obsessed with taking care of their body, like goes to gym maybe 6 hours a day or 4 hours a day, make it very good looking, but it will be perishable. Some people are manodharma. They are attracted to the dharma of mind. Right? They are reading like a lot of philosophies. Oh, this person spoke that. This Hegel, this René Descartes, this Aristotle, Plato. Like there are many philosophies are there, and they try to reconcile, and they can't want to bring up their own proposition based on those philosophies. And then some people, they have dharma, and they are siddha dharma. Like some people are interested to get some extraordinary power. Right? They do just meditation, they focus on something, and they hanker for some kind of siddhis. Right? But this is paradharma. This is beyond this body, mind, or any intellectual level. This is the paradharma where you want to actually serve only Krishna. And that is the original dharma of our soul. But other dharmas are contaminated dharmas. And we will actually talk about contaminated dharma a little bit later. So, it is not influenced by any material condition. It's an important point. It means like the cause, there is no material cause why you are actually doing this. Because this is your inherent nature. And it is uninterrupted. The flow cannot be, it's like, okay, today I am doing dharma. Today I am serving Krishna. And I will take 7 days of rest. It's not like that. You have to actually show, right? If you have a small baby at your home who is not able to actually take care of himself or herself, itself, then what you will do? You will feed each time, and you know that person is dependent on me, right? So you will not say, oh, I have like too much work at office today, I won't take care, I will take a break. It doesn't work in that way. Similarly, devotional service is also uninterrupted. It just keeps on flowing, and you get more reciprocation, because it's not like one way also. Sometimes flowing means like one way. No, Krishna also reciprocates according to your attachment, your attention, your service mode. He reciprocates. So it's natural, uninterrupted, and not influenced by any material condition. So when we increase our hearing propensity, when we increase our chanting propensity, then the other propensity is like to serve Krishna directly with senses. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevana Bhakti Ruchita. Actually, chanting and hearing also engaging your senses, because the ears, the tongue, even sometimes some devotees, they look on Hare Krishna Mahamantra writing. So you're engaging your senses. But if you want to actually do menial service like a servant, that also will increase. The qualification will increase, because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so he deserves supreme service. Right? If somebody is serving his guru, among all the disciples, those who are qualified to serve in a particular manner, right? Like somebody who is a very good doctor, among all the doctors, he will be chosen to serve the spiritual master. Right? Not everyone like who passed MBBS or MD this year, and he won't be he in charge of the service. So similarly, we should qualify. So at this present, we may not be able to actually serve Krishna directly, because we don't have that qualification. However, we can serve our gurus, our spiritual masters, those who are encouraging us, those who are advanced in devotional service than us. And we can help them. That will actually please Krishna. And then they will uplift us. They will connect us or take us to Krishna. So this is what is being spoken here. So anyone has anything to share or discuss, or anything from Shastra or anything based on your realization, regarding this verse or the purport, what you have listened today, any comments, any question, any reflection, will be appreciated. Yes, Krishna Kesha Prabhu.
So here the word unadulterated is being explained as Kevalya Bhakti also. Because Kevala Bhakti.
Kevala, yes, unadulterated, yes, Kevala Bhakti.
This
yes.
is very important. Manifestation.
Correct.
Devotional service exhibited when one's mind is at once attracted to hearing. And then beautifully it is mentioned that it is the natural. Usually we think doing a prescribed duty or philosophical speculation about the Lord is natural, because that is our material propensity. But here,
Correct.
the natural aspect that is mentioned is is attraction to the hearing and hearing the transcendental name and qualities of Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is Kevala Bhakti.
Correct. Excellent.
It's a pure devotional service.
Yes, unadulterated. Because Bhakti can be Jnana Mishra, Dhyana Mishra. Yeah, so Yashoda Kripa Prabhu is also there. Prabhu, you wanted to ask something? Or share any realization?
Thank you. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So, yeah, Prabhu, thank you for the wonderful session today. My obeisances to you and all the devotees there. So, I caught up on that point you mentioned, like so many people, they have different affiliations or interests, attachments to different things in the world. Like some people might have a dharma in different ways. So I find it really difficult sometimes when I see somebody. Recently, I was trying to bring to temple and he said, yeah, early morning, getting in the morning is good. And running is my dharma, exercise, fitness is my dharma. So you go to running in the morning and that's my dharma. That's one example, but so many people I see around and it's very difficult to, when they have a full firm conviction that they have a other dharma in some other direction. You can shed some light on that, Prabhu.
Yes, excellent point, Prabhu. True to say, Prabhu, this pure devotional service is expensive. It's very expensive product. In the market, the shop of iron, they have a lot of products and a lot of customers, right? You don't have to spend so much to buy iron. But if you want to buy gold or diamond, there will be very few people and there will be very much protection. Only few. Even if you are not dressed properly, you will be hesitant to go inside a jewelry shop, right? So pure devotional service is jewel. It should be, very hidden. Krishna doesn't exhibit it. In fact, if you see in Krishna Lila, he doesn't give pure devotional service to anyone. They are all eternal servants already. Those who are in Krishna Lila. Only Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is merciful. That's why he is patra apatra bichara nahi sthan je jata paheta ha kare premadan. So he is very merciful. That's why we are taking shelter of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to get the pure devotional service. So one of the characteristics of pure devotional service is sudurlava. It is not attained by, Tom, Dick and Harry. It's very rare. So that's why if somebody is telling that, running is my dharma, he is more inclined to Deha dharma. And that is the main occupation of this material world. But if somebody is taking pure devotional service, that means he somehow or other, he got a special mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we should appreciate that this person, he has not got that mercy. We should be like compassionate towards that person, that if he's not offensive, like if he's not envious to us devotees. But yeah, I won't say that, it's so easy, Prabhu, to attain pure devotional service. Whatever we are getting, it's a special mercy of Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas that we are able to execute or take this, pure devotional service to some extent. Yeah. Yeah, I think it will be so easy. Krishna Krishna Prabhu, you wanted to add something? Yeah. Hare Krishna.
I think this pure devotional service can only be attained by the mercy of a pure devotee.
Yes.
And remember we discussed various kind of shastras are there for those who are in different level of consciousness for them to move forward in their lives. So people may have Deha Dharma, they may have Mano Dharma.
Correct.
Krishna is merciful that he has given Shastras.
Correct.
So we need to connect them to literature of some kind which becomes the bridge. But when they come to the association of a pure devotee, it is only then that the Hriday transformation is going to happen.
Correct.
So Krishna has made an arrangement for everyone.
Correct.
Shastras are there, they are in different modes for people of different propensities. So everybody has access to Krishna in one way, within the level that they are. But there is a gradual progression.
Excellent.
Gets the association of a pure devotee and one elevates to the next level of dharma, which is adhikar, given by a pure devotee.
Yeah, so I will add in that context because it's a very good point Prabhu mentioned that adhikar means like you get, even though pure devotional service is causeless, but one of the causes, actually the only cause explained by the acharyas is that when you help a Madhyama Adhikari devotee to execute pure devotional service, because the Uttama Adhikari, he doesn't bother. He doesn't bother whether you aid, because he is in such a platform, he sees everyone is serving Krishna other than him, other than himself. He is in such a high position. But a Madhyama Adhikari, he is trying to serve, especially those who are Nishta, Ruchis, that level, Anartha-Nivritti, Nishta, Ruchi. When you help them, you get Bhakti Sakriti. Sometimes you do it unknowingly, like you created a well, somebody drank water and they got satisfied. Oh, Krishna, you gave water here, or somebody created. You get Agyata Sikriti and you somehow or other you get introduced. Or you go to demigod worship place, you pray and then you tell, okay, I don't want any material things. Give me something which will enlighten me, help me to go towards higher platform. Then he will be introduced with a pure devotee. But people don't do that. People don't do that. So you're right, Prabhu. Some people who you can actually connect because you are a scholar. You can find Bhagavad Gita, places where Krishna is telling, okay, yat karosi, yad asnasi, yad juhusi dadasi yat tapassasi tu konteya, tat kurushva madarpanam, Krishna karmarpan. Like, okay, you are maintaining your body. So use it for Krishna service. Like, you're a strong person. Or do some service to Krishna with your body level service. That will be also, you do some parikram. I'm just making it up. But you will be we should be intelligent enough somehow. If we can connect them to Krishna, that will be a great service, and we can be especially we can get a special mercy through that. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu, for adding that. Anything you want to add, Prabhu? Ashtadaki Prabhu? Anything else?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I think there was another hand raised that some Prabhu, I think, forgot his name. Praveen Prabhu, yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Praveen Prabhu.
Yeah, it was me. Thank you for a wonderful class. Actually, I had a comment that was along the lines of question that Yashoda Kripa Prabhu asked. So, thank you. Thank you for this very wonderful class.
Okay.
Hare.
Okay. Thank you. And anyone from the devotees over here want to share anything regarding pure devotional service? Anything you think like there are many definitions of pure devotional service, right? Can anybody tell any other definition of pure devotional service? Yeah, Krishna Prabhu. Yes. Correct. Can you actually elaborate that verse? Yes, because that is the kind of quintessential explanation of pure devotional service. Yeah.
Anya Bhilashita. I think we already discussed here that your motivation is nothing else.
Correct.
Shunyam. So it's Jnana, Karma, and Anavrita. So it's not covered by the process of Jnana and Karma. So that means, you're attracted to hearing the transcendental name and qualities of. With Jnana and Karma, if it covers it, then it becomes mixed, like the first 6 chapters or the last 4 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. It's giving a connection through Jnana and Karma, but Bhakti is right in between, which itself also has to be purified, as you mentioned about the progression that is there within the Bhakti 7th chapter talks about demigod worship and how that is not pure devotion service, and the intention also. See, the object also has to be changed, and the intention with which you perform Bhakti also has to be changed. So then it becomes purified. So Jnana Karma Niti Adi Anavritam. Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam. So it has to be favorable. Favorable disposition towards the Lord. And Bhagavatam has that verse, right? Of course, Bhagavatam takes it to the next end. It says even people who have envy and people who actually are inimical to the Lord also get mukti. Bhagavatam takes it to the next level. But they say that mukti is not the best mukti because it's just merging into the body of the Lord. You don't have a relationship with Him. So we're talking about pure devotional service. So as you say, Uttam Adhikari sees everything as devotional service. Even a demon for him is a devotional service.
Correct.
But he is actually getting what that Bhagavatam brings out.
Correct.
So Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Ruttama. So that kind of bhakti which is favorably executed, because you ultimately end up in a relationship with Krishna and serve Him and be with Him and become happy.
Correct.
And see Him everywhere. So that kind of bhakti is the best.
Excellent. Yeah. So this verse is a very, very powerful verse, and I think those who have taken Bhakti Shastri course, they're very familiar with this verse. It's one of the memorization verse. So here the 2 aspects are actually spoken. Prabhu nicely explained, Krishna Kesha Prabhu. I'll just elaborate a little bit from there. So one is the Tatastha Lakshana and one is the Mukhya Lakshana. Mukhya means like the primary characteristics of pure devotional service, and Tatastha is secondary characteristics. So the primary characteristics are like Krishna Anushilanam Anukulyana. So three aspects. Krishna means the subject of bhakti is Krishna. Krishna doesn't mean like only Krishna. It can be Krishna's incarnation also. It's direct incarnations, expansions, like Lord Baraha, Lord Ram, Lord Kurma, Lord Narsingha. All are in that category. Anukulyana means like in a favorable disposition. You want to actually serve. Oh, I want to fight with Krishna. I want to give some pain to Krishna. Even it may actually please Krishna, because there are Mukhya Ras and Gauna Ras, like, the primary mellows and secondary mellows. The secondary mellows, Bira, Hasya, Karuna, Rodra, Bibhatsa, Bhayanaka. So there are different types of secondary mellows which can be pleasing to Krishna. Like you want to fight with someone, right? Like Jai Vijay, they wanted to give the Bira Rasa to Lord Vishnu. That's why they descended as the demons. But that should not be a disposition of a devotee. Like they want to please, like Krishna drank milk from Putana. She act as a mother, but her disposition or intention was negative, to kill him. And Mother Yashoda, she tried to beat Krishna, like tame Krishna, punish Krishna. But her disposition was like, oh, I want to rectify my son. So action is not important. Actually, Krishna is very, very positive. When the action is negative but the intention is positive, he takes the intention. When the action is positive but the intention is negative, he takes the action. Anyways, but our mood is to serve in such a way that Krishna gets pleased. So that is Anukulya, no? Krishna Anukulya and Bhakti. Bhakti means a direct service. It's not like, oh, I have Bhakti for Krishna, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing reading, chanting, or coming to temple or serving Krishna in many ways. I have so much Bhakti for Krishna. I'm so emotional, yeah. Just in hypothetical level, like that doesn't show anything. You have love for your child, but you are not doing anything. Or the child has love for parents, but he or she is not doing anything. It doesn't justify. So bhakti is an active engagement. So these are the primary characteristics. And the secondary characteristic is anya vilashita, anya abhilash. Any other desire than to please Krishna. That is not like from bhakti you get fame, you get money. We'll actually discuss that. That is contaminated bhakti. These are the preceding verses. The verse we are discussing right now, the preceding verses discuss about the anna vilash. What kind of avilash one can get. And jnana karvadi anabritam means like any activities. Gyan means like cultivation of knowledge, or karma, to do some household work, or varnashram dharma. This should be anabritam, means like this should be connected with Krishna in such a way, connected in such a way that they pleases Krishna. It is meant for pure love of Godhead. It's not like you reject them, because that is not our dharma. Like we don't reject varnashrama dharma. We know that this is the gradual process, Atha pumbi dijasrishta varnashrama vibhagasha saunistitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. This all varnashrama dharma system is there to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mukho bahu rupadabhya, that verse also comes. Purusha shastramai saha chattara jaggire varna gunoi vipradaya pithak ya yesang sakshat purusham prabhav atmo nishvare bhajantava jananti sthanad bhashta pratantadaha. Mukho means like from the mouth of Lord Vishnu comes Brahmanas, from his arms comes Kshatriyas, his uru, thighs comes Vaishyas, and his legs comes Shudras. And they're headed by the Brahmanas, means the mouth in the society, or head. Now these people who are actually performing the varnashram dharma, if they are not actually doing it to please Krishna or worship Krishna, then they will definitely fall down from their position. And that happened actually. That happened in our Kali Yuga, in the beginning of the Kali Yuga when Krishna went away. The varnashram dharma first actually went down. Now first actually went down the detachment from Krishna, and then varnashram dharma deteriorated. Gradually it went into oblivion, right? Right now, I don't think like that was varnashram dharma prevailing in the society. Even the society is operating in the same manner. Some people will be in the top of the society, who will be the think tank of the administration, right? The president has a lot of executing body. They will give knowledge about what to do about the financial condition, what to do about the military condition. But they won't be going to the field, in person. And then somebody will execute. And then most of the people will be working in the menial services in the society, right? And some will work to make money, like those who are businessmen. They know how to make money. And we are most working as their servants, right? In previously, I don't know whether that is still there. We used to call whoever used to work in the government job, government service, right? Servant. Service is servant's job. It's Shudra job. Anyways, I want to actually belittle anyone, but that is the point. Like, most people of the society will be like Shudras. Okay. And very few people will be like the think tank. Maybe some professors, university professors, yeah. So that is there. So whatever the Anukulyana Krishna. So that is the beautiful, the most complete actually definition of pure bhakti. Like what? It encapsulates everything. What is not bhakti? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada actually told that in my whole life, I have spent 90% of the time explaining what is not bhakti. Because it is so contaminated, the concept of bhakti. Everything is bhakti. Like you go to temple, let me actually explain a pastimes of Narad Muni. I heard it recently. I was doing some research. So one time, Narad Muni went to different pilgrimage places. Narad Muni is a Shaktavesh avatar of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if you know that. He is an empowered person to preach the message of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's why he doesn't stay in one place. He travels different planets. He is an interplanetary Acharya. He doesn't, like Srila Prabhupada is a earthly, intercontinental Acharya. Like he connected all the continents of the earthly planet. But he is interplanetary. He travels in different planets and connects everyone to Krishna. So once he was traveling to earthly planet and he saw so many people are going in pilgrimage sites. You know, many people are going to Tirupati Balaji. Like I know that those who are from South India, there is a big queue. I have never been to Tirupati Balaji, that my good fortune has not arisen yet. So there is a big queue. You have to wait for a long time. You have to climb a lot of staircases to reach to the temple hall. Then you get a small peak and that's it in the flow. Anyways, then you go to Srirangam. There are many devotees who are circumambulating the periphery of the temple. Many thousands of devotees. He went to Rameshwaram. Many people are taking deep in the conjunction of the rivers and the ocean. They are getting purified. He went to Jagannath Puri. Many devotees are doing Ratha Yatra, taking prasadam. He went to Badrinath. Many people are actually meditating in the form of the Lord and taking in pilgrimage. Like right now, especially, this is the peak hour of pilgrimage in Badrinath. They opened the temple few days ago during Akshaya Titya, and now people are just hoarding in thousands there. So there is no scarcity. In Kumbh Mela, millions. It's the largest gathering of the earth, the Kumbh Mela gathering. So there is no scarcity of people. But he was thinking, so many people are doing bhakti. Kali Yuga, I think it's not exerting or it's not influencing people negatively that much. I think people are still inclined to performing devotional service. Now he went to Vaikuntha. He wanted to report what I have observed. And he told Lord, I saw so many people doing bhakti and I am so pleased. But one thing I noticed, not many people are coming here in Vaikuntha. There are so many there. But here I see very less. What is the problem? Can you please actually tell me, Lord? I couldn't understand. Then Lord Vishnu said, you want to understand? Okay, you invite them to come to Vaikuntha. Tell them that, I want you to take to Vaikuntha. So let's see how many people want to come. And then Narad Muni said, can I bring anyone and everyone or as many people as I want? Yes, you are allowed to actually bring as many people you want. So just go and announce it, advertise it that I want to take you to Vaikuntha. And he went to a very famous pilgrimage place and started announcing, devotees, I am taking you to Vaikuntha. Whoever wants to go with me, please come. I will take you to Vaikuntha Loka, spiritual world. And now everybody is listening, but most people are ignoring. It's a pagalar, it's madman. I don't believe him. Or they're not interested. They don't even understand what is Vaikuntha spiritual. Some people are like that. They're just coming it as a ritual. I'm going to spiritual side. I'm taking out all my sins. Like taking dip, right? So they are thinking like that way. Now, after some time, one little elderly person, like maybe Prauda, 50 plus age, he came. And he told, you are really taking us to Vaikuntha? Okay, I want to go. But what is the condition? When are you going? And what is the arrangement? Then he said, okay, I'm going right now. You have to come right now. No. I have to actually take I have to perform some responsibilities at home. My daughter is unmarried. My son is not got a job. So let me arrange. No. No. You don't have time. This is the right time to go. There is no responsibility. If you go Vaikuntha, everything will be automatically taken care of and you will get in association of the Supreme Lord. He said, no. Okay, then when I can come back? He's asking when I can come back, because even if I go now, I may have to come back to do my activities. So he's telling, no, there is no point, or then there is no option of coming back once you go to Vaikuntha. Because yad gatta nivartanta tadhama paramamama. So you go once, you go forever, you don't come back. But he was saying, no, then I don't want to go. I don't know, because I have so many responsibilities. So this is the problem of this, the material world. People want to go to pilgrimage site. They want to do the devotional service, but the mood is to get some return, some customary duty. It's not to please Krishna. That pleasing part is actually completely at us. And Lord is kind of an order supplier. Okay, Krishna, I give him $5. You give me 50 in return. Like in Tirupati Balaji, I think that is something like that, right? If devotees, they donate a lot and then anonymous donation, and they get a lot of return also, because he has some vow also that, whoever helped me to pay the dowry, I will help them to actually get resources or something. Right, Prabhu? I think Raman Saka Prabhu knows all those details. So that is there, but it is a special thing. But our motivation should not be like that. That, okay, we are getting in something in return. Prabhupada told, actually, especially those who are in Rupanuga Vaishnavas, those who are following the teachings of Srila Rupa Goswami, we don't want anything from Krishna. There is a pastimes of Rupa Goswami. This is a very esoteric pastimes. May not be it's a good platform, but this is a Saturday class, so I'll take some liberty. So Rupa Goswami, once he desired to actually eat some sweet rice. And he has a sannyasi, renunciant. They don't have anything. They don't keep anything. They don't hoard any resources. So he did not have anything to cook sweet rice. And then, somehow or other, actually he didn't want to eat sweet rice for himself, for Sanatana Goswami. He wanted to cook it for his elder brother and spiritual master Sanatana Goswami, that I want to actually feed him a nice sweet rice prasadam. And then, somehow or other, by the arrangement, one girl, she came up with all the ingredients, and she cooked a fantastic sweet rice. And then, Baba, like she called him as Baba, my father. Like, it's a very common address in Vrindavan Dham, Brajabhumi. They call the elderly people as Baba. And those who are saints also being called as Baba. So she called that, Baba, I bought these things. I'm cooking sweet rice because you desired. I will make the arrangement. And Brajavasis, they have some special qualities. And those who are eternal residents of Brajavasis, they don't doubt in the qualities of the Brajavasis. That, how he could understand or she could understand my situation. Like Krishna could understand Madhavendra Puri is fasting. Why you are fasting? Nobody actually told him. And he didn't doubt that, how he could understand that, because they know that they are connected to Krishna, so Krishna can influence them. So he did not doubt that, how she could understand that I need this. So she cooked a fantastic sweet rice, and Sanatana Goswami was invited, and when Sanatana Goswami honored that sweet rice, he felt extreme jubilation, extreme ecstasy. This is not an ordinary sweet rice. Then he inquired, who cooked this sweet rice? And then Rupa Goswami explained that, okay, one girl came, she was so beautiful, she was wearing this, that. And then, she brought all the ingredients and she cooked herself. And then Sanatana Goswami told, no, you should not desire anything. She is our Swamini, she is our worshipable Lord, like goddess. Actually, they are the servant of Srimati Radharani. So, servant doesn't accept any service from master. So you should not desire anything which will compel Srimati Radharani to serve you. So you should not desire anything. So this is our mode. We don't want anything in return for our service to Krishna. This is one-pointed service. In job, if somebody doesn't pay you, next day onward you will say, no, it's okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. There is no connection. So even though we call it service, but it's not unconditional service. It's a conditional service. Like you pay, I serve. You pay, I serve. But this is unconditional service where like there is no payment. Even though there can be actually negative things. By serving Krishna, you get a lot of infame, like, defame. Or negative things like your riches are gone away. Your opulences are gone. Your knowledge is gone. Everything is gone. But still you keep Krishna in the center, then Krishna will take care that, okay, you get something which nobody else is eligible to get. Yasyaham anugrinyami tadhamang harishya shano tata dhanang tajantasya sajana dukhu dukkita. If I give a special mercy to someone, I take away everything from them. So this is Krishna Bhakti. Another thing, we are in a very dangerous situation. We are aspiring to serve Krishna. That means only by giving away everything we have, we can, means like that's very like it's not like a generic thing like we just give away like that impotently or indiscriminately. We have to do it in a way the spiritual master or our gurus ask us, not like, oh, leave everything like family or riches or opulence or social designations, but in a way that our spiritual master, they know that what is applicable for a particular situation for us. Like Srila Prabhupada, he did not take sannyas before very advanced stage, even though he took sannyas when he had unmarried daughter, but that was a special situation. Anyways, I don't want to actually go into in that detail. The point is, Krishna takes away everything, and then especially when your opulences are gone, your family members are also gone. Sajana dukkha dukkhita, and you will be inflicted with lot of sufferings, material sufferings. That sufferings brings someone very closer to Krishna. In that sufferings, when somebody cries to Krishna, their crying will be genuine. Their crying will not to get rid of the sufferings, rather to get attraction or love for Krishna. That crying is different, and that crying is actually our dharma. Actually, like Srila Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj is telling that our only object of life is to cry for Krishna. Even if we cannot cry, we should try to cry. Why we cannot cry for Krishna? Just like that. Anyways, so it's very difficult to get pure devotional service, but this is something which will attract Krishna, and Krishna will reciprocate according to our mood of service towards him. Okay, let's actually read Mataji verse number 8, 9 and 10, maybe the translation itself, and we can actually discuss about what is contaminated devotion, because that's very, very important to understand. Mode of devotion in mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. So the material modes of nature are three, right? Mode of goodness, mode of passion and mode of ignorance. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So when these modes mixed with devotional service that exhibit some kind of qualities of devotional service which are in that mode, which are not that much appreciable, especially in mode of ignorance and passion. So Mataji 3:29:8, the verse number. Let's start with that. Yes. Avisandayo himsam dambham matsaryam evava samrambhi bhinna drigbhavam mai kuryat satamasaha. Can you go down? Translation, Mataji. Devotional service executed by a person who is envious, proud, violent and angry, who is a separatist, is considered to be in the mode of darkness. Let's read the purport. Actually, purport is very explanatory and very nice. It has already been stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 1st canto 2nd chapter that the highest, most glorious religion is the attainment of causeless, unmotivated devotional service. Sabai pungsa paro dharma yato bhakti radakshaje ahitu ki apratihati yanatmasu prasidati. Yayatmasu prasidati. That is the first answer of the question, like what is the paradharma? And he answered the paradharma is uninterrupted, unmotivated devotional service to the Supreme Lord. So this is the first instruction in Srimad Bhagavatam, if you can say. In pure devotional service, the only motive should be to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is not actually a motive. That is pure condition of the living entity. In the conditioned stage, when one engages in devotional service, he should follow the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master in full surrender. The spiritual master is the manifested representation of the Supreme Lord because he receives and presents the instructions of the Lord as there by disciplic succession. It is described in Bhagavad Gita that the teachings therein should be received by disciplic succession. Otherwise, there is adulteration. To act under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master with a motive to satisfy the Supreme Personality of God is pure devotional service. But if one has a motive for personal sense gratification, his devotional service is manifested differently. Such a man may be violent, proud, envious, and angry, and his interests are separate from the Lord's. One who approaches the Supreme Lord to render devotional service, but who is proud of his personality, envious of others, or vengeful, is in the mode of anger. He thinks that he is the best devotee. Devotional service executed in this way is not pure. It is mixed and is of the lowest grade. Tamasaha. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur advises that a Vaishnava who is not of good character should be avoided. A Vaishnava is one who has taken the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the ultimate goal of life. But if one is not pure and still has motives, then he is not a Vaishnava of the first order of good character. One may offer his respects to such a Vaishnava because he has accepted the Supreme Lord as the ultimate goal of life, but one should not keep company with a Vaishnava who is in the mood of ignorance. It's beautiful. Why? Can anybody tell actually why it is not recommended, even though we can respect that person and we appreciate his service, that whatever service he's doing? But what is the negative part? Like why we are not associating with that person who is in that, vengeful, envious, arrogant, angry, anything, personal realization, anything. Why you are not encouraged to associate with someone like that? Yes, Tadiya Seva Babu. Yes. Excellent point. Yes, actually, negative vibration. You won't be enthusiastic to execute devotional service. You will see, okay, I won't go to temple. I don't feel like I can serve with that person. So it's very important. Somebody who is encouraging you to actually engage in devotional service, to do devotional service with that person. Right? Utsahat nischayat dharyat. Right? Tat karma pravartanat sangata agat satavritte Saravir Bhakti Prasidati. The 6 things which are very important for your devotional service is the first thing, start with Utsaha. The Utsaha will be completely down. This person is devotee, he is so angry, who is envious, then what is devotional service? I don't want to actually take it. So keep a distance with that kind of person who subdues your enthusiasm and associate with someone who increases your propensity in devotional service. So that's the Vishnu Chakravarti says. It's not that, that person is also be taken care of by Supreme Lord, right? Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim nigachati kantya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashvati. So even though he is in that kind of mode, but by the association, by the process of service, he will be purified. But yes, there is danger. Also, the Hatimata offense, like Vaishnava Aparat is there. Let's go to the next verse, Mataji. And then we can have another discussion of this, contaminated devotional services. Okay. Vishayan avisandhaya yasa yashwaram evava archa dvarchayad yomam prithak bhavat sarajasaha. Translation, please. The worship of deities in the temple by a separatist with a motive for material enjoyment, fame and opulence, is devotion in the mode of passion. Wow. The word separatist must be understood carefully. Very important point. The Sanskrit words in this connection are Vinnadrik and Prithakbhava. Both actually. Vinnadrik is the previous verse. Prithakbhava is this verse. A separatist is one who sees his interest as separate from that of the Supreme Lord. Mixed devotees or devotees in the mode of passion and ignorance think that the interest of the Supreme Lord is supplying the orders of the devotees, order supply. The interest of such devotee is to draw from the Lord as much as possible for their sense gratification. This is the separatist mentality. Actually, pure devotion is explained in the previous chapter. The mind of the Supreme Lord and the mind of the devotee should be dovetailed. There is no separate, A devotee should not wish anything but to execute the desire of the Supreme. That is oneness. When the devotee has an interest or will different from the interest of the Supreme Lord, his mentality is that of a separatist. When the so-called devotee desires material enjoyment without reference to the interest of the Supreme Lord, or he wants to become famous or opulent by utilizing the mercy or grace of the Supreme Lord, he is in the mode of passion. Mayavadis, however, interpret this word separatist in a different way. They say that while worshipping the Lord, one should think himself one with the Supreme Lord. This is another adulterated form of devotion within the modes of material nature. The conception that the living entity is one with the Supreme is in the mode of ignorance. Oneness is actually based on oneness of interest. A pure devotee has no interest but to act on behalf of the Supreme Lord. When one has even a tinge of personal interest, his devotion is mixed with the 3 modes of material nature. Beautiful point. Beautiful, excellent. Actually, Srila Prabhupada's purports are literally ecstasy. Prabhupada is telling that separatists can be in 2 ways. One is somebody who doesn't think like how I can please Krishna. Rather, how can I please myself, my ego, my senses. That is. Another point is how I can just get liberated without any connection with Krishna, like Sayuja Mukti, liberation, merging into the Supreme Lord. That is Mayavadis, they considered, oneness means merging into Krishna. Not oneness means the intention of Krishna and my intention will be same. There is no disagreement there. So that's very important, because even though Mayavadis sometimes they can merge or one with Krishna, but they have to fall down, because that doesn't give them the need, the aspiration of the soul. Aspiration of the soul to experience the bliss. That aspect is not there in the impersonal revelation. So this is also contaminated. This is the mode of rajas. Somebody who is doing devotional service, but it's an exhibition. Oh, I want subtle. So previous one is gross. You can understand that somebody is angry, envious. This one is subtle level. You won't understand so easily that somebody who is in that. In fact, there is the qualities of Krishna, like Oishwarya, Jashri, Gyan, Vairagya, Birya, means like the strength, opulence, fame, knowledge, renunciation. That is there in every living entity. But we have to dovetail in such a way that it pleases Krishna. It's not that, we are not earning Lakshmi, or it's not that we should not be famous. We can be famous. Srila Prabhupada is famous. Right? He's one of the personalities who became successful after 65. In the world history, there are like 10 persons. He's among the 10. Among, I think, like he became popular or he became famous after 65, and his movement spread all over the world. So one of them is, I know that it's very famous, like KFC person. He became famous after 65. But that's completely different direction. But Prabhupada is like, as a spiritual personality, nobody actually at that age become that much successful. Anyways, so that fame can be there. Renunciation is an automatic byproduct of devotional service, but it should be connected with Krishna. It should not be like for self-interest. So that's why it's a little bit difficult to understand sometimes. And then, next verse. Okay, let me actually raise the next verse. I think I have it there. Yeah, Mataji, can you go to the next one? Karma niraharam uddisya parasmin vata darpanam yajed yashtavyam itibya prithak bhava sasatyakaha. Please go down to translation, Mataji. Okay. So when a devotee worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead and offers the results of his activities in order to free himself from the inebrities of fruitive activities, his devotion is in the mode of goodness. So the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras, along with the Brahmacharis, Grihasthas, Brahmaprasthas and Sannyasis. Mataji, one click down, yes. Sannyasis are the members of the 8 divisions of Varnas and Ashramas, and they have their respective duties to perform for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When such activities are performed and the results are offered to the Supreme Lord, they are called karmarpanam, duties performed for the satisfaction of the Lord. If there is any inebriety or fault, it is atoned for by this offering process. But if this offering process is in the mode of goodness, rather than in pure devotion, then the interest is different. The 4 ashramas and the 4 varnas act for some benefit in accordance with their personal interests. Therefore, such activities are in the mode of goodness. They cannot be counted in the category of pure devotion. Pure devotional service is this, as described by Rupa Goswami, is free from all material desires. Anya vilashita shunyam. There can be no excuse for personal or material interest. Devotional activities should be transcendental to fruitive activities and empiric philosophical speculation. Pure devotional service is transcendental to all material qualities. Devotional service in the modes of ignorance, passion, and goodness can be divided into 81 categories. There are different devotional activities such as hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, offering prayer, rendering service, and surrendering everything. And each of them can be divided into 3 qualitative categories. There is hearing in the mode of passion, in the mode of ignorance, and in the mode of goodness. Similarly, there is chanting in the mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness, etc. 3 multiplied by 9 equals 27, and when again multiplied by 3, it becomes 81. One has to transcend all such mixed materialistic devotional service in order to reach the standard of pure devotional service as explained in the next verses. So we already read the next verses. So the point here is this: all three peoples, mode of ignorance, mode of passion, and mode of goodness, they are called prithak bhava. They have different interests. Even though those who are doing Krishna karmarpana, yat karasi, yad asnasi, yad juhosi, dadasi, yad, still they have some motive. They are doing it as a duty. Like, oh, you are doing it, oh, I am Brahmana, I have some duties, I will offer those karma to Krishna. So you are just getting rid of the reaction, because both pious activities and impious activities has a reaction. Pious activities has what kind of reaction? You're doing something piety. What reaction you get? You do some good work. Piety means good work, yeah. What you get by doing good work? Excellent, yeah. That is their satisfaction, positive outcome. Also, you go to the higher planetary systems, heavenly planet. You enjoy there, right? You don't go to the spiritual world because this is still in the purview of the material world. So that's why all activities you do should be connected to some other Krishna. Then you don't have to suffer the reaction. But still it will be to some extent material. As long as you are not guided by the spiritual master. Okay. Like Srila Prabhupada asked one of his disciples to cook for Radha Shyamsundar. He dedicated his whole life for cooking. He didn't even, like Prabhupada told, even if you don't chant 16 rounds, it's okay. You just dedicate your life. And the later part of his life, when he was not able to actually dedicate, he started chanting. And you can understand what kind of chanting he did, right? Maybe millions of years we chant. We may not avail to that stage. But by executing the words of his spiritual master with full attention and details, he got perfection. And when he has started chanting after, when he was not able to do that particular service, you can understand that in what kind of reciprocation he got. Anyway, so that is there. When the spiritual master guide you to do some service, it's not like a varnashram kind of thing, or kind of, that's why we are encouraged to do Daivi varnashram, where we do our varnashram dharma, but it should be directed to the satisfaction of Krishna and his devotees. Yeah. Anyway, so this prithak bhava, one thing is common in all three verses is prithak bhava, like they have a separate interest than Krishna. Means like you are doing your karma, like in this case, you are doing your karma. It's good that you are offering it to Krishna. Mat karma krit mat parama, mat bhakta sangha varjita, nirvaira sarva bhuteshu sa mameti pandavaha, right? Krishna told in 1155, as the penultimate verse of 11th chapter, that mat karma krit, like who is doing my service, mat parama, who considers me as the absolute, mat bhakta sangha varjita, means like who associate with my devotees and reject the association of the non-devotees. Nirvaira sarva bhuteshu, who is not envious to any living entity. Sa mameti pandava, he will definitely attain me, O Pandava Arjuna. So this is the quality, the devotees. But the main point is to serve for Krishna. Then it will not be a separatist mentality. He said, man mana bhava mada bhakta madhyaji mam namaskaru. The instruction is there, but the elaboration is done elaborately done in Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran there. Anyways, I didn't actually chant Mangalacharan prayer today, right? In the beginning of the class, I was supposed to. So let's chant the Mangalacharan prayer before we depart, and then we can discuss or hear some realization. So I'll chant the standard one, Mataji. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manabhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Sayang Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathannitam Tam Sajivam Sadhaitang Sabadotang Parijana Sahitang Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhannitam Sya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandha Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kipa Sindhu Vayevacha Patitanang Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhya Nama Nama Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Now everything will be auspicious, right? Yes, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Mangalacharan we read, right? Gronther Arambe Kori Mangalacharan, Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Sharan, right? In the beginning of the book or scripture, he's referring to Chaitanya Charitamrita, that he starts with the Mangalacharan prayers, the invoking of auspiciousness. And in that auspiciousness, he remembers three personalities: Guru, Vaishnava, Bhagavan. And actually, it's beautiful. And you see that the prayers we actually recited, they have all these three aspects, three subject matters, nothing else. Guru, Vaishnava, and Bhagavan. সেই মঙ্গলাচরণ হয় না, তিনের সাধনে হয় তিনের স্মরণে হয় বিঘ্ন বিনাশন, অনায়াসে হয় সব বাঞ্ছিত পূরণ. All kinds of obstacles will be removed when you remember all these three personalities, or three tattvas, three truths. And whatever you desired, it will be achieved very easily for you. Then he says, সেই মঙ্গলাচরণ হয় ত্রিবিধ প্রকার, বস্তু নির্দেশ, নমস্কার আর আশীর্বাদ. So in Mangalacharan prayers, the subject matters are these three tattvas, Guru, Vaishnava, and Bhagavan, and you do three things. You indicate what will be the subject matter of your discussion. Vastu nirdesh, what will be the subject matter? Then Ashirvad, you seek their blessings. Okay, please bless us. So we are discussing about you, so please bless. And Namaskar, you pay obeisances to them. So these are the three things. So three subject matters and three things you do with them. This constitute the Mangalacharan. Yeah, it's a beautiful actually explanation that why we do it, right? Somebody can ask like why we do Mangalacharan. Tine sharane hoy vighna vinashan, anayache hoy sob banchito puran. Right? That is the correct verse? You checked it? Yeah. No, I have to, sometimes Bengali, it's very, very familiar, right? So I replace one word with another word. Because like synonym, but it makes, like I replace it with another word. Anyway, so now, anybody has any, because I am speaking too much monologue, but if anybody has any realization about, this contaminated devotion and you want to discuss any aspect, any comment, any question, feel free. We have like devotees like Kautukarna Prabhu, then Dhira Prashant Prabhu, Sundar Madhav Prabhu, they can also help us to answer. So please feel free.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Nirod Nitai Chat Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you Prabhu for that nice Mangalacharan verse. And I was just thinking on that perspective, I was hearing before that, even non-devotees, those who are not practicing Krishna consciousness, they also want to start something in a good way. So why not, in devotional service, when we are speaking about Krishna, talking about Krishna, or speaking about devotees, so why not we should start it with something auspicious like Mangalacharan. And I was remembering how Vaisheshika Prabhu used to do this long Mangalacharan prayers during COVID times. And probably 10-15 minutes used to go just doing Mangalacharan. So sometimes, I used to think, it's very long Mangalacharan. And it was sometimes really difficult to kind of keep patience. But later, when I was staying there for like class after class, then I understood this, long Mangalacharan really helps to concentrate on the kirtan in the class.
Yes, excellent. Thank you for sharing your realization, Prabhu. Yes, Mangalacharan is really Mangal, Shubhada, all auspiciousness, right? Devotional service is also all auspiciousness. We did not go to the characteristics of devotional service. Maybe that is a different subject matter, and those who are Bhakti Shastri scholars, they are already familiar with these things. But pure devotional service has 6 characteristics. I'll just touch it. Kleshagni, Shubhada, Moksha, Logutakrit, Sudurlava, Sandranando, Vishesh Atma, Sri Krishna, Akoshanichasa. So pure devotional service brings all auspiciousness. No, it actually extinguishes all material miseries. Who are doing pure devotional service, all miseries will be extinguishing for them. But now you can ask, like, why my misery is not growing? Then you can judge yourself whether how much you're doing pure devotional service. So that comes in the Acharyas explains, that comes in the stage of Nishtha. When you're devoid of major anarthas, it's not like you're devoid of all anarthas, because all anarthas will go only in prema stage, in the topmost stage of pure devotional service. But in the Nishtha stage, you get rid of Kleshagni and Shubhada. Shubhada means all auspicious. So all auspicious are defined by Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Pad that all auspiciousness has 4 qualities. That it is beneficial for all. Not like, oh, it's beneficial for me. Like, if you go to a business center, somebody is selling something and he's selling it in a higher price to you. It is beneficial for him, but not for you. You are paying more Lakshmi for that same product. So it is beneficial for all. It can be taken by anyone. It's another characteristics. Anybody can take pure devotional service. Kinato hunanda purinda pulka shavira shumba yavana kasada yara. Jiyanya ya papa yat pastra yastra suddhanti tasmai prabha Vishnave namaha. That famous verse from 2nd canto where Shukadeva Goswami is telling that even those who are outcast, who are not in the purview of Brahmanashram system, they can do pure devotional service and they can be transcended to the topmost stage. This is one thing. Pure devotional service will bring all divine qualities in you. You get all divine qualities by executing pure devotional service. You don't have to, like, Yashasti Bhaktir Bhagavatya Kinchana. Actually, that particular verse is quoted by Vishnu Chakravarti Pad, that somebody who is executing pure devotional service to Krishna, for him, all the divine qualities will automatically manifest. Actually, even I am going to so much theory. Anyway, and then the last characteristics is blissful. You will feel that, that a special ecstasy, which, Vishayavini Vartanti Niraharasya Dehina. It is not comparable to any material place. The pure devotional service, the please you get. These are the 4 qualities of Shubhada. Klashagni Shubhada. And then Moksha Laghuta Krit Sudurlava. It actually dilutes the desire of moksha, liberation, and it is very difficult to attain. These are the stage. You will experience this in the stage of bhava. And in the prema, Chandrananda Visheshatma Shri Krishna Akarshani Chasa. Means like you will experience very condensed bliss and it will attract Krishna. Pure devotional service attracts Krishna. So these are the qualities will manifest in the prema stage. So these are the qualities of 6. So when you are performing devotional service, this may be a little bit higher level understanding, means like, very like advanced understanding. But there is a generic understanding that whether our devotional service is pure or how much we are doing, sincere pure devotional service or sincerely pure devotional service. So that verse I actually quoted already in the class today, that Bhakti Parashana Bhava Birakti Ranatra Chaisho Triko Eko Kala Prapadya Manasa Yatha Ashnuto Tushti Pushti Khutpaya Anughasham. You can judge whether you are progressing in devotional service by, gauging 3 things. Bhakti, devotional service or devotion to Krishna. Parashanubhava means the experience of the absolute truth. Where you are actually really understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and He has His own eternal abode and I have a relationship with Him. And Birakti Randatra, anything which is not connected to Krishna, you are detached from that and you are not feeling any jill by executing that activity. These 3 things are, kind of parameters to gauge your position in pure devotional service or your progress towards pure devotional service. Anyways, now please go ahead. Yeah, I think, again, I digressed. We have 10 minutes. I want to hear from you or, anything you want to share. I can keep talking. That's not a problem. I have more contents, but I want to hear from you. Anything you want to share. By the way, Prabhu, what's your name, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna? Yes, Prabhuji. Preeti. Brady. Preeti means Prem. Brady, okay. Brady, Prabhu. Okay, Hare Krishna. Brady. What's your name, Prabhuji? Reed. Brady, Prabhu, and Reed, Prabhu. Yeah, they joined us from the beginning of the class. What's your name, Prabhuji? Because I'm seeing you for the first time. Yes. Girish, Prabhu. What's Devangsh, wow, Girish. Girish means like the Lord of Giri. Actually, Girish can be Lord Shiva and also Lord Krishna because he's also Lord of Your name has dual meaning. Devangsh. Okay, yeah, you are the part of Deva. And Mataji? Puja, wow, beautiful. You are all spiritual names, nice names. So thank you for joining. We have also Manoj Prabhu. He recently moved from Ohio. He started his postdoc in Stanford. So thank you for joining us today in our today's morning session. Oh, a month back? Okay. From where, Prabhu? Oh, New Delhi. Okay. Noida, huh? Delhi. Okay. What's your name, Prabhuji? Sorodip. Oh, you're Bengali by any chance? Yeah, your pronunciation seems like Bengali. You can understand I'm Bengali also, yeah. Sorodip Prabhu. Yeah. So very nice to meet all of you and, very glad to see all you in our morning session today. So we have every Saturday morning session here, and we have a Sunday session starting at 3:30. The discourses start at 3:30 and then goes till 5 p.m. 5 to 5:30 is Arati, and then 5:30 onwards prasadam distribution. Today we'll also have prasadam distribution, even though it will be simple, but we'll have some prasadam distribution. Okay, so Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Daisyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Srila Prahlad Maharaj, in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he speaks about 9 limbs of bhakti. Shravan, hearing, Kirtan, chanting, Archanam means worshipping the deities, Vandanam, praying to the Lord, Dasyam, like, doing malignant service to the Lord, Sakyam means like, act in a way that you are friend to Krishna, and Padas, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, you offer everything to Krishna, which is very high level. These are the 9 major sins. I missed something, right? Pada Sevanam, you massage the lotus feet or do menial service also that. Archanam, Mandanam, Daisyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Yeah. So these are different forms, Mataji. You can do any of these sincerely, but in Kali Yuga it is recommended that whatever service you do it along with chanting of the holy name, because it is very potent in this age of Kali that you do many service, but if you do chanting along with it, then your progress towards the destination will be very fast. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thanks for asking the question. Anyone else? Hare Krishna, welcome. What's your name, Prabhuji? Tilak. Wow, we have like all the spiritual personalities are here today. Jai, thank you. Beautiful, yeah. Anyone wants to share anything else? Any comment, any question? Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Ready, Prabhu, yes.
One thing I appreciated about verse 9, Canto 3, 29:9, was when you were mentioning oneness means oneness of interest, because a lot of people that I speak with, they have this conception of oneness, but it's, God and I are the same, but that nuance of, yes, oneness, but oneness of interest is a really helpful point that I think would, help me communicate that to other people. So
Yes. That's a very good point. Actually, God and us are same in terms of quality, but not in terms of quantity. So quality, Krishna has different qualities. We have also same spiritual qualities, like, Satchit Ananda. But he has that in infinite, context is infinite. For us, it's infinitesimal, very minute quantity. That's why he is Ish, right? Ishwar. We are also Ish to some extent. Like at home, we can assert our, decision or our inclination. But we don't have that, controlling power of the whole thing. It's a very beautiful point. There comes the concept of Achinta Veda Ved, right? What is that in English? Like simultaneously one and different, right? Yeah. Qualitatively one, quantitatively different. Yes, correct. Yeah. Anyone else has any reflection or anything we discussed today, or anything you can reflect back? Because sometimes when you reflect back, other people also can remember that, this topic we actually discussed, and it will be helpful for you to, take something away from the class. Even though, for me, the speaking is mainly for my purification, but still, if you can take something especially from the teachings of our acharyas, that will be beneficial for you. Kautukarna Prabhuji.
I like the point we mentioned that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said 90% of his lectures was to present what is not bhakti, because there is so much contamination in Kali Yuga. And at the same time, we have to understand both what is bhakti and what is not bhakti. I also like the primary characteristic of bhakti is to serve as per the desires of Krishna, in favor of Krishna. And secondary characteristic is to be free from the vested interests of jnana, karma, and siddhis.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's why the bhakti should be performed with bhakta. What is that? Bhaktya sanjayate bhakti. The devotee will actually bring out bhakti from you. It's not like, I'm doing bhakti. I am very good. I do it at my home. I know everything. I have my scriptures. I have my books. I have deities also. Bhakti should be performed in the association of devotees. Then you will understand actually what is bhakti. And when the devotees are empowered, like Srila Prabhupada, or coming from the spiritual world, then the import of real bhakti will be manifested in your heart. Even by reading maybe thousands of years of Bhagavatam, you may not understand it. Just like Devanand Pandit couldn't understand it. What is pure bhakti? He was thinking okay, Shivash Pandit's reaction is sentimental reaction, right? Anyway, I don't want to go into that pastimes. But the point is, if there is no mercy of the person Bhagavata, then the Jaho Bhagavat Paro Bhagavat Sthane একান্ত আশ্রয় করো চৈতন্য চরণে চৈতন্যের ভক্তগণের নিত্য করো সঙ্গ তবে তো পাইবে সিদ্ধান্ত সমুদ্র তরঙ্গ তবে তো পাণ্ডিত্য তোমার হইবে সফল কৃষ্ণেরও অমৃত লীলা বর্ণিবে সুনির্মল সামথিং কৃষ্ণেরও তত্ত্বলীলা বর্ণিবে সুনির্মল. So this is the instruction of Srila Sarup Damodar Goswami, who is the second body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that we should study Bhagavatam in the association of person Bhagavata. Shushushu Satya Dhanasa Vasudeva. Na, what is that? Vasudeva Syanmat Seva Vigraha Punotirtha Nishavanat. Yeah. So it's important that we actually study Bhagavatam in the association of person Bhagavata. Otherwise, even in Bhagavatam also we will find material understanding, especially Varnashram, Karmakanda, those things. Yeah. I think Yashoda Kipa Prabhu has some realization to share or comment. He raised his hand. Yashoda Kipa Prabhu. Yes, go ahead, Prabhuji.
What you were just mentioning, some time ago I heard these two words, Goshthanandi and Bhajananandi. Is it what you are referring to, are enjoying the bhakti in their isolation, seclusion on their own versus?
No, Prabhu, yeah.
Different concept?
No, it's same concept. You can be you can associate with the Bhajananandi also. Goshtanandi, Bhajananandi, there is no actually segregation in terms of Uttama Bhakta. Uttama Bhakta can be Goshtanandi, can be Bhajananandi. However, the point is our Gaur Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj, he did not personally preach that much. And he spent most of his lifetime with Bhagavad Das Babaji Maharaj. He's a spiritual master in Vrindavan. So he got the spiritual understanding or relishment from his spiritual master. And true to say, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada did not mix or did not get that much instruction from Gaur Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj. Actually, he got most instruction from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So, in one sense, Bhaktivinoda Thakur can be called Goshtanandi and also Bhajananandi, both, right? He's simultaneously both, right? Right? He wrote so many books. That's actually Goshtanandi's activities. But he, after some time, he just dedicated himself for the sadhana aspect. But Srila Prabhupada, at the very end of his life, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada also, since when he was also leaving his body, he was surrounded by so many devotees, he was giving instructions. So it's not, we don't actually differentiate. I'm talking, Prabhu, even Goshtanandi, you can be under the shelter of a Goshtanandi or Bhajananandi, whoever it is, but under the shelter of a person Bhagavat. That's the point. Your guru. He can be Goshtanandi, he can be Bhajananandi, or a very senior Vaishnava who inspires you and whose shields, means whose character encourages you to take devotional service sincerely. You can associate with them, like advanced Madhyama Adhikaris. They are also our teachers. It's not like we always, because Uttam Bhaktas are not so easy to find, but advanced Madhyama Adhikari, if somebody encourages you, you can take instruction from them and they will clear your doubt as well. So it can be both. My point is it's not like any specific genre. And true to say, that is to my understanding, Goshtanandi, Bhajananandi, there is no difference. Bhajananandi also doing preaching, but it's passive preaching. It's not direct but indirect. His presence itself is purifying the place. It is becoming tirtha. Right? What is that verse? Tirtha verse. Bhavat vida bhagavatas tirtha bhutani sayam bhavu tirtha kurmanti tirthani santvastana gadabrita. Right? The person who carries the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his heart, he is tirtha personified. Wherever he goes, it gets purified. Not directly, but indirectly people are getting benefits. Yeah. Thank you for asking question, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I hope that it makes sense. Anyone else? Yes, Dhira Prashant Prabhu, we are already almost over time, but we can hear from last comment. Yeah.
Actually, 2 comments.
Please, go ahead.
Yeah, the first one is, we request the person who has put the deity there to clear it, because we have to put the Prabhupada, Guru Puja there, offerings. So one realization, Prabhuji, I like this, you mentioned about how you have to take care of the kid. You can't say like, I'm not going to take care, I'm like, I need rest. You compared that with uninterrupted devotion. I like that part, Prabhuji. So thank you. Haribol.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, Mata, you can, I think, keep here also. I think this will not be used. Oh, yeah, this part, yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, I think this is a natural affection that wherever I go, I take my Gopalji with me. So this is amazing, devotion. So thank you, everyone who attended in person in the temple hall or through different social media or online media. I'm really grateful to all of you for giving me this opportunity, this service opportunity. And I beg to all of your lotus feet to shower your blessings, your mercy, so that I can purify myself and be engaged to the service of our Acharya Vargas. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kipa sindhu bhayavacha patitanang pavanebhya vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. And I ask for also forgiveness if I have spoken something which is not in line with our Acharya's teaching. So please consider it as my fault. I am still learning from all of you. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Kolodwip Pran Prabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Namaste Gaur Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Now we'll do the Guru Puja Arati, Srila Prabhupada Guru Puja Arati. And Arati will be followed by announcement and prasadam. Hare Krishna. Okay, Mataji.